Hey there fellows, Buddy Spike here. So it turns out I passed my private pilot test, and I cannot believe I'm saying this. I'm a real boy now. I'm a real pilot now. And the feeling is just amazing. The fact that I'm now allowed to rent a plane and just fly by myself or carry a passenger like a family or friend is just an amazing feeling. I'm gonna just take out the visor so that you can see my face. Well, you still don't see my face. So apologies about the title. Um, well, being bored is not the reason why I became a pilot, but maybe it's at least 20% of the reason why I became a pilot. The real reason why I became a pilot was I feel like flying is the best thing that I have ever done, and I feel like I'm going to love flying for the rest of my life no matter how much I do it. It reminds me of another thing that I love to do for the rest of my life. Never mind. So I have logged about 60 hours and about 150 landings, and the fact that I'm saying that I have landed the aircraft about 150 times feel such a huge accomplishment that I never thought I would have done. But I am so glad that I did it. And my plan is not to stop here. I'm going for the commercial license as well. So probably I'll be having 1,000 more landings by the time I get my commercial license. I remember the first time I took off, and I'll be honest with you, the minor turbulences actually caught me off guard, and I felt quite scared in my first flight. A little bit, not that much, but eventually, I started to trust the aircraft and started to feel like these turbulences aren't really going to do much to the aircraft. And the plane still flies straight, even though there are minor disturbances in the air. But when you're used to flying in a commercial airliner, you don't feel turbulence the way you would in a light single engine aircraft. But over time, you do get used to it, and flying becomes more and more fun as you progress through your training. So I have been overwhelmed by the training at few stages. For example, during the circuits, I remember you had to do a lot. There's a takeoff procedure, and then there's downwind checks, and there's radio communication. So it felt like you got to do a lot while flying the circuit. But as you get used to it, you start to enjoy that more and more when you start getting good at it. So flying can be tough, but once you start getting better at it, it is like the most fun thing ever. And I just can't wait to continue my training. I'm taking a break for about a month and started studying for my commercial exams. And let's see how it goes. And I will definitely keep you guys updated with my progress. If you want to stay updated, you can keep an eye on my channel. And in case if you want to see my first solo ever, I have also made a video about it, and you can have it down in the link in the description. And I want to say that if any one of you have any questions regarding how to get the private pilot license, the procedure part, how it's done, how things go, and what planes can you fly, stuff like that, you can let me know in the comments below, or there's a Discord link in the description. You can just follow the Discord link. We can have a chat. Sometimes you can even find me on the voice channels. So just to give you a little background, I'm actually a former engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer. I still am an engineer, but I left this field professionally because I just started to love flying to a stage that I felt like I can do this my whole life. And it is a risky business. There's a lot of investment, and then there's a low possibility of getting a high paying job as well, so that you can have your return. Even though my previous job was paying me well, but I felt like, you know what, why not just do what I love, even though I know that this job won't actually uh, pay me much, and the good salaries are actually in the airliners. And to get to that, it's like the path is really long and really far. But I feel like as long as I fly a plane, I don't care if it is big or small. As long as I'm in the air, I know that I'll be happy. Now, I know some of you might think that people with money say these things, but the fact is, money might buy you happiness, but it cannot buy you peace. And what I feel when flying is peace. Everything makes sense. Everything is in order. And one of the greatest things I'm expecting working and flying is that once you land the aircraft back home safely and you have parked the aircraft in the apron, you feel like you have done your job. You're not worried that you have left a stone unturned. You're not worried that as long as you didn't break any procedures or didn't damage the aircraft, you know that you did your job and you're done for the day. Because many times as an engineer, I felt like even though if I work my off one day, I still wouldn't know that day whether or not I have fulfilled my responsibilities, I have fulfilled my goals. But as a pilot, if I have taken off, reached my destination and landed the aircraft, I have followed all the procedures, there were no incidents or accidents. The feeling of fulfillment of your task is just something that gives me peace. And I believe every person has different ways of finding peace. And I felt like this is my way of finding peace. And the best part is hopefully in the future I will also earn while finding my peace, if that makes sense. Even though I just got my private pilot license, the journey is like it's like I've only done this much and I gotta do this much in order to actually earn money flying and earn enough to support myself and my family. But I feel like as long as I can, pass my medical, that's the only thing I'm worried about. Even though I'm perfectly fine. It's just that that's something that is not in your control. That is a little worry I always have, that you know what, maybe 5, 10 years, if I stop passing my medical, then I won't be able to fly. But I guess every pilot has that, because you invest a lot of effort, time, money, and if your health does not support you, then that's a factor that is out of your control. However, that should not let you demotivate to at least try and fail rather than not trying at all. I think true failure is not trying at all and regretting than trying and failing. I'll be honest with you, at this point, even if I do not succeed because of a situation that is out of my control, like if there's a World War III in the future, which I hope there isn't, or maybe a new pandemic and the aviation industry goes way down to a level that there is no hope in the future, I will still not regret this decision and know that I did my part by trying my best. Until now, the hardest part of my training was the navigation. And by navigation, I mean the navigation exam as well as the flight training part of navigation, because I felt like it was something really new to me and it was something completely new. And during flying, it involves a lot of multitasking. But after a few flights, you do start to feel like you're getting in the rhythm of doing your task and getting ahead of things, and you start to actually enjoy your flight. But in the beginning, the first few flights of navigation are actually quite tough. Well, nothing is impossible, and eventually it's only a matter of practice that you get good at something and then you pass your test and achieve your goals. So now what's next is I'm going to start with the night rating, get my night rating, and then I'm going to build hours, and then going to do instrument rating, training for instrument rating as well as multi-engine rating. And then that's going to be like the end of my commercial license requirements. And if I pass the test, then I get my commercial license. And then after that, wherever the river flows, or where the boat, or where the river takes, or whatever. So this was a little different kind of video that I wanted to make. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about it. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Buddy Spike out.